Calgary Police Service is asking for the public's help to identify 2 suspects in a break-and-enter where multiple firearms and a badge were stolen. During the day on Wednesday, September 14th, 2016, it is believed that 2 men broke into the home in the 0 to 100 block of Copperfield Heights S.E. 9 handguns, 4 rifles, and a former badge of a retired Calgary Police Service officer were stolen from the residence. Police have been investigating since and now have CCTV footage of the suspects. It is hoped the public can help identify them. Anyone with information on the incident or the identity of the suspects is asked to call the Calgary Police Service non-emergency line or Crime Stoppers anonymously. I can take any questions you might have.
Can we talk about the importance of these items that were stolen, that sentimental value perhaps as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Officers, when they retire from the Calgary Police Service, are able to keep their badge. They purchase it and they get a retired insignia with respect to the badge. It's something just sort of commemorate their years of service within the Calgary Police Service. So that would be a sentimental thing for the family and for the officer.
Were these guns all registered and legally owned and everything?
That's correct. Yeah, they were all legally owned and registered and properly secured inside the residence.
So they were behind lock and
They were.
I'm not sure the rules are. Is it locked? They have to be locked up.
They were locked up. That's correct.
In regards to the rifles, are they restricted? Are they hunting rifles?
I don't have the exact details on the types of rifles. It's just that they were rifles. There were 4 rifles and the 9 handguns, a variety of calibers of handguns and makes.
Besides the danger, obviously, of having these rifles and guns out, also someone has a police badge, right? Are there concerns there then?
Absolutely, it's always a concern, and so that's really why we're asking for the public's assistance as well. Anytime an officer's badge is stolen or goes missing, we want to ensure that that the public is aware of such an occurrence. And the big thing is if anybody ever questions or is concerned about a police officer's identity, they should call the Calgary Police Service to determine whether or not that person is an active member of the Calgary Police Service.
And can you say it obviously looks like the people knew what they were looking for inside the home, or?
Unfortunately, I can't say at this time exactly the circumstances of whether or not this was targeted. They knew what they were looking for or not. That's still under investigation.
Is there a concern that with the badge, where does it say retired on it?
So the badge itself, I'm not 100% sure exactly what it would look like, but I know when we retire, we get a badge and it offers, there's a bar that's included with it that indicates that you're a retired member.
So there's a concern that they may use this, maybe hide it with their thumb and flash it. People wouldn't know, right?
I think any time a member of the public is concerned about an officer's identity, they should contact the Calgary Police Service, absolutely. There's a number of fake type badges that can be purchased online and so forth. So anytime a member of the public has any concerns about the identity of a police officer, please call us to confirm that the officers are legitimate members of the police service.
When was this retired officer, when was he last with CPS?
I don't actually have that information. I'm not 100% sure when he retired.
Not recent. He's been retired for some years, as far as we know.
I'm sorry. Can you say that?
Sorry, he's not recently retired. It's
I don't believe so. I don't believe he's really recently retired. He's been retired for some time, so I don't have the exact information about when he retired.
Can we say if he's still alive or not at this point?
I don't know that I would speak to that at this point. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you're saying that we don't know if the cop that the guns were stolen from is alive?
Yeah, I'm saying I wouldn't speak. I wouldn't speak to his.
Was it in his home that these items were taken from, or was it someone else's home?
It was it was not the member's home that the items were taken from. It was not the Calgary Police Service member's home.
Okay, sorry. So retired member, you're not saying if he's dead or alive. His guns and badge were in someone else's home. Legally, they were locked down there and stolen from them.
That's correct. Yeah.
And sorry, I think you may have been asked this, but to clarify, we don't know if these people knew there was guns in the home and that it was stuff that locked them.
Yeah, that's still part of the investigation at this point. I'm not sure whether they knew whether this was targeted or not.
And does 14 guns seem excessive to be in one house?
I think, members of the public, there's a variety. I mean, they're properly registered, properly stored. People have interests with respect to firearms. I wouldn't give an opinion with relation to that. I would just say that each individual member of the public, provided that they're properly stored within the parameters of the law, that it's not a concern from the policing perspective.
They're all functioning firearms, though.
The firearms, I believe, were all functioning firearms that were reporting that were stolen.
So they're not like vintage collector's pieces as far as not like a Civil War era
Yeah.
muskets or something like that?
I don't have all the details on the exact types and calibers of the firearms, just that they were firearms and that we had that number stolen.
Sorry, I know don't want to get into this too much, but I'm just trying to get my head around it. So, an officer retired, his guns and stuff are with someone else now, so are those, you don't want to say if he's dead or alive? Were they passed on?
No,
or gifted?
I'm not saying that the guns were even the officer's guns. I'm saying that in fact the badge would belong to the officer, right? That the badge that was stolen belonged to the Calgary police officer, but the firearms weren't. They didn't belong to the Calgary Police Service
I'm
officer.
sorry, I thought
That's
all
correct.
that stuff belonged to the former officer. So
That's
the person
correct.
was robbed, 14 guns belonged to that person, also stolen was a badge that person got from a former retired officer.
That's correct. Yeah, that's the way I understand
Can I
it.
say a relative? I'm guessing that would be like his dad's or something?
It would be somebody associated to the retired officer. That's correct.
But the
Yeah.
firearms themselves were registered to the homeowner whose home was broken into.
That's correct. Yes. Yeah. So I think one of the big things from our perspective, if I could just add this, is that we're seeing a number of B&Es occurring right across our city. It's a big concern for the public. It's a big concern for the Calgary Police Service. And one of the things that we can do as the public is report anything that is suspicious, report suspicious activity, ensure that our doors are locked. We're seeing a lot of break and enters in our city through insecure doors. And in addition to that, not only the doors, but also the vehicles. If you have a vehicle outside your residence that is insecure, it gives access to potentially your garage door opener, which now gives access to your residence. So just as a tip to the public, please report any suspicious activity you're seeing to us, and also ensure that you're securing your residence. We've made some changes within the Calgary Police Service recently that have aligned our break and enter investigators. So there are now 2 investigation teams specifically focusing on break and enters. And what we're seeing with break and enters is we're seeing the same type of offender, property offenders that are stealing cars, and they have drug addiction issues. Those are all similar issues that we see, the same type of people. And so I just wanted to just mention, if you see anything suspicious, please report it to us, and please ensure that you're securing your vehicles in your homes as well.
In regards to this sort of restructuring that's happened within the CPS, so how many members were there before in this unit and how many do you have now? And do you have a percentage of increase in the number of B&Es that happen?
It's more around, we have seen an increase over the last year in the number of break and enters that have been occurring. It's more around the realignment of the services. So in the past, we had those services spread out across the police service, and they were working based on the districts that we have in alignment. What we were able to do now is coordinate it better by bringing them together centrally, and ultimately making some other effective changes within the investigative operations section, which allow us to more aggressively investigate those types of property-related offenses. So we've seen significant results from that work that we've been doing, and we're probably going to be saying a bit more about that in the coming weeks around some of the changes that have happened within the Calgary Police Service to focus on break and enters, because we know it is a big concern for the public, and it is a big concern for the police service as well.
So not necessarily new bodies or more bodies within that unit, but
Right,
more
it's
clumped together, I guess?
it's more around alignment and efficiency in the way we work. When we're spread out into different areas, we were able to bring those teams together to make them more effective and really look at targeting the offenders that are causing the most amount of concern to the safety of the public and the work that we need to do around break and enters. But it's a really big issue, and it's about coordinating with other agencies, coordinating with our Crown, and focusing on this issue to help keep the public safer.